peace is not an option. It can only be war, a war that China and the US are seriously preparing for. A new Chinese ship has been developed at a pace never seen before, and a new American formation would make anyone go, "Wait, what's happening?" Well, in this video, we'll answer exactly that. We will tell you what's happening. For an enemy like China, the speed at which the country just built its new frigate is terrifying. For allies, it's impressive. And for everyone else who knows anything about shipbuilding, it is simply jaw-dropping. A ship that was only first reported about 9 months ago in August 2023 is now on the seas on its maiden voyage. By virtually every standard known, that should be impossible, even if it took twice that time. Despite the speedy build, the ship manages to be a monstrous sea creature to behold. While not a lot is known about the new ship, surfaced images have revealed a main gun concealed inside a low observable cupola when not in use, a flight deck at the stern to host aircraft, and a vertical launch system array in front of the main superstructure. The ship has an integrated mast structure atop the bridge and does away with major fixtures on its superstructure and deck, including aerials. Smooth planar and faceted surfaces that are inward canted above the ship's waist dominate its design too. The overall ship design appears to have some sort of tumble-home configuration, like Sweden's stealthy Visby-class corvettes and the US Navy Zumwalt-class stealth destroyers. All of these features show a strong focus on low observability on the Chinese ship. China is clearly developing an ultra-stealthy frigate. This could mean a lot. This ship could cruise the seas unnoticed and strike enemy forces when it's already too late for them to react. So, although the intended uses of the new Chinese frigate remain unclear, a new class of such stealthy ships could prove very valuable for the Chinese Navy, even against the most fortified navies on the planet, like the US Navy. Escort missions, air defense, and of course, anti-submarine warfare are some of the most critical missions the capabilities of the new Chinese ship may be summoned for. In light of this, the US is taking drastic measures to protect its submarine fleet, the largest in the world. One such measure is the forming of an alliance no modern Game of Thrones script could have predicted: an Ohio-class ballistic missile submarine escorted by the A-10 Warthog attack aircraft. In images posted on social media by Commander Submarine Group 9 at Naval Base Kitsap, Washington State, 4 Warthogs were spotted flying just above the Ohio-class submarine USS Nebraska and its escorts as they transited the Strait of Juan de Fuca, the Salish Sea's main outlet to the Pacific Ocean, on May 6, projecting the might of the US military as far away as China. This event is the best of two worlds coming together to form an unbelievably formidable alliance. USS Nebraska, armed with an entire arsenal of nuclear missiles, is one of the most destructive man-made objects in the world, and the A-10 Warthog is easily the most effective and successful close air support aircraft in history. It's time for a closer look at these two lethal machines, starting with the A-10 Warthog. 4 A-10 Warthogs can be seen escorting USS Nebraska in the photos. 2 of the 4 Sport OT tail codes used by Nellis Air Force Base's 422nd Test and Evaluation Squadron, while the other 2 feature KC tail codes used by Whiteman Air Force Base's 442nd Fighter Wing. Whatever the tail code, these aircraft are quite capable when it comes to protecting friendlies down below, which is exactly what close air support is all about. The A-10 is the first and remains the only American aircraft ever designed primarily for this role. In 1991, during Operation Desert Storm, this fact became obvious. It was the Warthog's introduction into live conflict, but it killed like a veteran. By the time it was done, the fleet of A-10s in the war had destroyed more than 900 Iraqi tanks, 2,000 other military vehicles, and 1,200 artillery pieces, setting a record for most cannon and Maverick missile kills, a record that stands to this day. So, what exactly makes the Warthog so lethal on the battlefield? The answer is simple: offense and defense suites that do their job better than most, as we'll now see. Number 1. The A-10 Warthog was built around its main weapon, the GAU-8 Avenger autocannon, which was also developed specifically for the Warthog. The gun has a high muzzle velocity and a super high rate of fire that enables the cannon to fire 3,900 large depleted uranium armor-piercing shells every minute. Pilots have likened firing the gun to riding on the rockiest train tracks ever. They're basically sitting and flying on a massive machine gun. In addition to the gun, the A-10 is armed with the AGM-65 Maverick air-to-surface missile. Guided by electro-optics and infrared, the Maverick missile allows target engagement at much greater ranges than the cannon and thus allows the A-10 to avoid air defense systems. In addition to these, the A-10 wields cluster bombs, Hydra 70 rockets, GPS and laser-guided bombs such as the GBU-39 small-diameter bomb, Paveway series bombs, Joint Direct Attack munitions, Wind-Corrected Munitions Dispenser, AGM-154 Joint Standoff Weapon Glide Bombs, and AIM-9 Sidewinder air-to-air missiles. Number 2. Defense Suite. The A-10 backs its impressive offense with a shield of defense. After all, flying so low to strike ground targets is sure to attract fire from anyone and anything with a weapon. To handle this fire, the A-10 features 1,200 pounds of titanium aircraft armor, whose interior surface directly exposed to the pilot is covered by a multi-layer nylon spall shield to protect against shell fragmentation. This enables the A-10 and its pilot to survive direct hits from 23mm cannon fire, 57mm shell fragments, explosives, and armor-piercing projectiles. The aircraft also features double redundant hydraulic flight systems and a mechanical system as a backup in case hydraulics are lost. The result is an A-10 that remains flying even with half of all its parts shot off. All of these unrivaled defensive and offensive features are in an aircraft with a unit cost of $10 million, a fraction of virtually every major military aircraft in service today. And that's not all. The U.S. Air Force continues to upgrade the Warthog to be even more dominant on the battlefield. Their low-flying, slow-speed capabilities combined with their loitering ability and extreme air-to-ground precision make them a uniquely capable force protection platform, and the U.S. needs that now more than ever. These capabilities make the A-10 perfect for targeting enemy ground troops and naval vessels. Since they know how to kill naval vessels, they'll know a lot about how to protect them too, which is probably one reason why they were protecting USS Nebraska. The Ohio-class submarine USS Nebraska is one of the U.S. Navy's 14 Ohio-class ballistic missile submarines, or SSBNs. These 14 submarines form the sea-based leg of America's nuclear deterrence triad. Strategic bombers such as the B-2 Spirit and intercontinental ballistic missiles such as the Minuteman III are the air and land-based assets that complete this triad. The Navy also has 4 other Ohio-class submarines converted into conventionally armed guided missile submarines, SSGNs, to comply with some international agreements. All 18 Ohio-class submarines are the largest and most advanced submarines ever built for the U.S. Navy. Taking shifts, the hulls carrying nuclear warheads maintain a continuous at-sea presence, ready to launch their nuclear missiles in response to a nuclear attack on the U.S. or its allies. They respond through a literal boatload of Trident 2D5 submarine-launched ballistic missiles. Each Trident II missile packs up to 12 nuclear warheads, has a range of 7,000 miles, and can strike targets with incredible precision. Ohio-class submarines each carry up to 20 of these missiles and therefore can carry up to 3,360 nuclear warheads at a time. Today, Ohio-class submarines carry about 70% of all active American nuclear warheads, making them the most destructive systems in the world. While the Trident missiles traversing the seas today have no targets in mind, they can quickly be assigned targets from base using secure and constant radio communications links. Each Trident II missile costs about $31 million and weighs 130,000 pounds. Each Ohio-class submarine costs $3.2 billion and weighs 19,000 tons. Powered by nuclear propulsion systems, the submarines can reach speeds up to 25 knots, dive to depths of more than 1,500 feet, remain submerged for up to 90 days at a time, operate for 15 years without refueling, and have unlimited range. For the last 4 decades, these submarines have ensured American dominance on the seas, creating a legacy that historians will study and admire for generations to come. They'll be replaced by a new class of SSBN, the Columbia class, in the 2030s.